What up, guys? It's Rook here, drummer from Machine Gun Kelly, and you're listening to Sellouts, the podcast for MGK fans, by MGK fans, presented by Pink Fucks. Let's go!
What if life was as simple as a hug? Welcome to another episode of Sellouts, the podcast for MGK fans, by MGK fans, presented by Pink Fucks. I am your host, Mike Kyle, and today I am joined by Evan McCarthy, aka MGK Canada. His page has been blowing up on Instagram. He's doing all the right stuff over there. Active in Facebook groups. You may have seen him in there. Evan, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you so much for having me, Mike, man. I've been watching all the episodes. I'm really excited to be here, buddy.
Yeah, likewise. I'm excited to have you on, and also you're representing Pink Fox. Let's go. That hat.
Yeah,
That hat.
I got it.
I think I got 4 left before they sell out again for the second time. So if you want one, link down below in the description. But Evan, let's just get right into it, dude. How did you become a fan of MGK?
Well, I was a big hip hop guy. I've fallen off of the hip hop, except for Kels. He's always been my number one. But I listen to a lot of mixtapes. So I'm just listening. I'm on Dat Piff, and I see the album come up, lace up. All right, okay, let's go check this out. So I put it on, and I hear See My Tears, Demons, and they rocked me. And I just had that album on repeat from then on, man. And I went right in. I was EST right in, Die Hard right away, man.
Yeah, that's so cool, and I think I was talking with Brittany, who we just did an episode with recently, and she also brought up Dat Piff, and it's just like, flashback from the past.
Oh yeah,
I'm
man.
very curious about this. You said that you were really big into hip hop, and then you got out of it. Why did you get out of it?
The content was stale, repetitive.
Okay.
I mean, to me, a lot of it was like motivating you to spend your money at the club and get high and drunk and so I listen to Kells and it's like he's writing a diary, man. Like he's
Hmm.
speaking on like addiction and not glorifying it. And I was like, okay, man, like this kid, this is his first album. He's 19 years old, 19, I believe. Like
Hmm.
he's talking like a grown man. Like I was in, right? So uh, he's done nothing but impress me from that day forward in 2012, man.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I've spoken about this a little bit as well. Uh, I really was apathetic to music for quite a bit, especially around that 2018, 2019 range, like hip hop specifically. I was like, this is stale. It's all the same. It all sounds the same. It's super redundant, repetitive, and just like the same subject matter over and over. And that's why I'm just so obsessed with this new kind of wave of pop punk, because it really did just feel like we're back, music's fun again, and I don't want to stop listening. So super similar experience to you. Mine just happened to be, I don't know, 10 years later.
Yeah, no, I mean, the pop punk thing, man, like that was a game changer for me.
Hmm.
I'm listening to Diablo, right?
Hmm.
Expecting nothing. And I hear the I Think I'm Okay with Youngblood. Man, like, what is he gonna do with this? Like he's gotta do something with this, right?
Yeah.
And to see where it went and to have so many people come back and be like thanking him for bringing back that sound, that time in their lives, right? Like I remember listening to Blink, man, and being a kid and that like teen angst and stuff, right? So
Hmm.
for him to bring a resurgence in such a great genre, I couldn't be prouder of him. And I'm a big rap guy, but like I was all in with the pop punk too, man.
Yeah, what you just said there is super interesting. Where we heard I think I'm okay, and it was just, oh, I want more of this.
Yeah.
Like there was something so naturally good about I Think I'm Okay, where it was like, no, you're good at this. Like do more of this because
Yeah.
this is fantastic.
Oh, it was unreal.
Yeah.
It's like the hook, right? The hook was it. And then that
Hmm.
like, simple guitar, like so simple, and it was just yeah, it was an iconic song. I loved it, and I was super happy that he went to the
Hmm.
stratosphere with this pop punk stuff, man. Like
Hmm.
the arenas, and I mean, as fans, like it's 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 a really special time to be an MGK fan.
Yeah, all right, there's two directions I want to go here. I don't know which one I want to go with. I'll go with the one that's top of mind. You know, you just talked about, Hotel Diablo a little bit, and I know that is an album that is very, very special to you. So why is Hotel Diablo one of, if not your favorite albums?
I feel it was one of his most personal albums. Especially his third verse from Glass House, man, and he's talking about like suicide, right?
Hmm.
And so when he's tackling that kind of content again and just back to front, right? Like I can
Hmm.
listen to that album, no problems, no skips. I mean, the first song, Sex Drive, I'll be honest, I skipped that one. But the whole album, man, like I love that one, and
Hmm.
it's a perfect album to me.
Yeah. Speaking of that third verse on Glass House, I don't know if you know this, but I like bringing the little golden nuggets for people who may not know. That was one of the last verses added to the album, and added to that song. Like I think it was like 10 months later, he went back and added that.
Okay, that's interesting because I
It's
had seen,
it's something crazy.
yeah, I saw him in an interview and he was asked, "What's your favorite verse?" And I was,
Hmm.
oh man, what's the answer to that? Bang. And he said that, and that's why I gave you that answer, man, because I listened to that song with a new appreciation, knowing that's a really special verse to him.
Hmm.
So I feel like it's a way to connect with him because I've had dark times too, right? Like many of us in EST, and Kels has been there in the headphones, man, and consistently putting out polished like
Hmm.
stuff is just he's second to none as far as his polished product comes, man.
Yeah, and speaking of being the voice in your headphones through the dark times, you shared with me a little Instagram message about a few days before we started recording this, just kind of prep me for some different things and for some different things that we can talk about here. So honestly, Evan, I just want to like open up to you. I don't have like a direct question, so
Hmm.
I'll let you freestyle, I guess, for a little bit, and then
Yeah,
I'll
man.
kind of take it back and I'll run with it. All right,
Yeah, of course, of course. So
go for it.
it's not about me so much, right, this podcast, but I want to speak for EST, right? And his music has been there for me because a lot of his early EST guys, we were maybe a little rough, right? Like his early fans were, it was a street it was a street fan base, right? And I used to cause a lot of trouble, man. And I went away. I did a bit of time for that, and I remember pushing Kells to people, and certain people would, be like, "Yo, whack, whack, whatever." But then the guys that got it, I could connect with them in a really special way. And I still have some friends that we both changed our lives, and he's a part of EST. He doesn't really want to be mentioned, but
Mhm.
it's been there when I didn't have anybody, man. And I love EST and the whole movement. I couldn't be happier to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome stuff, and congratulations to you, for getting your situation right, sorting it out, and now here you are, and you're becoming more and more well known in this fan base and in EST as a whole. Again, I started off the show saying you're just doing a lot of the right stuff, right? You're active, you're kind, you're just very like positive as a whole. when it comes to the regards of EST and what it is and what it stands for. Um, one thing that you said in that was that the guys that got it, they got it, right?
Oh
They got
man,
it, they understood it, and you were able to connect with them, obviously in a much bigger way because now you have that common bond, sharing, similar music and, sharing a love for an artist. That's one of the things that I've experienced a lot too, and I think that's the thing that makes EST like really special is it's a group of people that all collectively get it. And I've talked about this a bit on like earlier episodes of Sellouts. I actually think it was maybe like the very first episode that Allie and I did, where I just said, this brand works. The reason Pink Fucks works, especially as a company name, like let it known, like this brand, like a company name, the reason that it works is because I'm just talking to people who get it. Like this brand is almost designed to where only, if we're just talking to the masses, right? If 10 out of 100 people get it, that's kind of the point, right? Is for it to be pretty tight knit in that way.
absolutely, man. And that's the thing. Everybody's got their fan bases, and
Hmm.
the thing is his music and what he speaks on is way different than. I'm not going to put down any of the pop people, the big
Hmm.
artists, right? But Kells has kind of been a black sheep for a long time
Hmm.
and talked about some really real stuff. And I don't think mainstream's comfortable with a lot of
Hmm.
his content. Like the one song I thought that was really special, that was going to kind of put him out there beyond bad things, which was amazing, was a little more because that
Hmm.
video was incredible. The content was super heavy, but I don't think people were ready for him, right? Like he's been
That
on.
I didn't know what song you were going to say. I was really before you said it. I was just like, I'm like, where's he gonna go with this? But you're right. You're right. There was we had like the Invincible run that was kind of like a fake thing because even if you go back and listen to some things he said, he's like, I didn't like the song when it first came out. Like I only pushed it because the label forced me to push it, but I don't love it that much. But a little more was one of those where it's like there was a brief little uptick, but it never exploded in the way that it probably should have.
No,
Yeah, that's.
absolutely. I enjoyed Invincible. I think with Lace Up, they may have fumbled a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, they shouldn't have. I don't know. He got a lot of fans from WrestleMania, but
Yeah.
that was a strange push
Hmm.
because I don't know. It was just strange to me. That's all.
Yeah, I got you. No worries, Evan. Let's transition a little bit here. You've seen Kells in concert, right?
That's right.
How many times?
Just one time, man. I just saw him last summer for the mainstream sellout tour. In my 20s,
Hmm.
I was a little distracted from
Hmm.
drinking and just partying too much as a young chef, right? And not
Hmm.
taking opportunities to go see the shows. But yeah, I've seen him one time, yes.
All right. What show is that?
It was the Toronto show last July.
All right. And being a fan for so long and finally seeing him live, what was that moment like for you? Especially, as we kind of talked about earlier in the show, the obstacles that you've overcome as well to kind of, see this point, so to speak.
To be there sober with my fiance, to see 15,000 people that love this movement, this man, the way that I do, and this music was really special because I never felt he was going to make it. Blackballed, kind of, beefs with certain people, and I didn't think he would get there, and he did. And I got those tickets, and I'm still riding on that feeling of
Hmm.
how he did it, man. He's doing it, and I
Yeah.
couldn't be prouder.
Yeah, and that was the other angle of the question earlier on that I wanted to take it. So I'm glad that we got there. Just seeing the explosion. And it's like, right, it's so crazy because it's one thing. I've been thinking about this a lot, Evan. It's one thing to see the explosion happen for an artist when its album, one, if their debut album goes crazy, two, if that second album, really takes off, or that three, right? Because if it's going to happen, it normally happens in that range.
That's right.
But it wasn't that. It was album 5 that took off. And
Amen.
it's wild to think about, because if you reverse engineer kind of how your musical career is supposed to go, and it's obviously the way that I say that sounds like I'm putting Kells in a box, but I'm not. You'll see where I'm going with this. It's get signed. You have this kind of ramp up into albums 1, 2, and 3, and then there's a decline. What happened here was it was this constant stepping stone all the way, and then a rocket ship on 5 and 6.
Dog, he earned his stripes,
Mm-hmm.
man. He really did. And that's a really well thought out point. Because generally they come out, they get a bunch of steam from the label. They, have a really big first album. They do a huge tour. They release that second album, and it's kind of a sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
So to watch him steadily climb has been so validating as a fan, right? So I really like your point that he's kind of done it like complete opposite.
It is the complete opposite. It's crazy, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And again, right? It's that he did it opposite. It's that he. I also think it's really poetic that he did it a completely different way than when he started, right? If we just think about right, the idea of Kells and Boxes, and the fact that it was these two albums that are the ones that took off and not the 4 rap ones before it. Like, it's weirdly poetic all the way around, and I love the story so much.
It's beautiful. That
Yeah,
simple.
it's that simple. All right, let's talk about MGK Canada for a second. Starting this fan page, you've seen the growth, especially probably over the last couple months or so. What's this fan page been like running it for you?
A blast. So really I started it just over the holidays, and I was waiting for my guy to give us that album that I knew really wasn't coming yet,
Mm-hmm.
and know that there's going to be some brewing happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just was going down the rabbit hole of content on YouTube, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see what it's like to do this Instagram thing with the fan page. And I've started meeting some really amazing people. MGK Israel, Octagon 2, and MGK Thoughts is a really good homie of mine now. Anybody that I've talked to in EST where I've flown my flag to them, every single one has come back with kindness.
Mm-hmm.
And that's beautiful, man. And it's a special thing. It's a really
Yeah.
special thing.
Yeah, and again, just seeing your presence evolve a little bit. I think we started following each other pretty early on, and in that Instagram journey, and so to see the growth and development of the page, like, again, I've said it 3 times now. I'm going to say it again. You're doing the right stuff. So we're gonna
Thanks,
just keep
man.
just keep going, and hope it's. I think it's so cool. Every album there's a new kind of crop of fan pages that come up, and then from that crop there's kind of a new. It's almost like a new like it's like I'm almost thinking of like a double XL like freshman class. It's like that new class kind of
Yeah,
emerges from the group, um, and I just feel like especially you have an opportunity here with this next rap album to really just like make it yours and kind of elevate yourself in that page as a
that's what I'm
result.
waiting on. Yeah, I'm really waiting on that album, man. And that was really the inspiration to starting the Instagram was my wish of like getting that album soon, right?
Hmm.
And then I just started talking to folks on there, man, and that's what kept me going on it. Just the people I've started to meet, some of the friendships, and Facebook as well has been great. On We Are Machine Gun Kelly is a group my friend Kathy runs, and
Mhm,
she's been kind enough to let me be an admin on that group, and
mhm.
I've made a lot of friends there as well. It's been really great.
Awesome, Evan. Super stoked to hear it. Let's wrap up with this. We got 5 rapid fire MGK questions, and then we'll get up out of here. All right?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, he's ready. He's warming up the hands. He's ready to
Yeah,
go.
man.
All right.
I knew this was coming.
Let's go with this. Speaking of that rap album, if he could collab with any artist on it, who would you want to see him collab with?
NF.
Ooh, good answer. I haven't gotten that one yet. I like that one a lot. Cool. Let's go with the next one. If you could see him anywhere live, where would you want to see him perform at?
I thought about this one. I would want him to see a playlist that I made at the Apollo.
Ooh, good. All right. I like the custom playlist.
Yeah.
That's a nice little touch there. All right. Let's go. Question 3. Let's go. Pink guitar from Tickets or black guitar from Mainstream Sellout.
I gotta go pink every time. I'm with the rest of them. Mostly everybody said pink. Man,
Yeah.
he owned that color. He took it to the moon. Like it was great.
hmm What's your favorite MGK rap album? I guess we kind of answered that a little bit with Hotel Diablo.
Mm, you know what? I love Diablo, but I thought about this a lot. General admission, man. Like to come back with a second album that strong as a rapper doesn't usually happen. And I listen to all of them, but I really love General Admission too.
Cool. And then let's wrap it up with this. This is the new question I like asking everybody. If you're introducing somebody to MGK, what's the first song that you're playing?
Hmm. A little more.
A little more. Cool. And there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Evan McCarthy, aka MGK Canada on Instagram. Evan, dude, thanks so much for coming on, my brother.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. You're doing a really great thing here. I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes, bud.
Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it. And thank you for watching on YouTube, listening on podcast platforms. I appreciate it so much. If you want to be on the show, link to apply down below in the description. Or if you want to support the show a little bit, you can use promo code SELLOUTS at checkout at pinkfucks.com. Grab the hat that Evan's wearing. I got like 3 of them left. Pink one's still in stock as well. And we will see you in the next episode.